shill event. Are you all ready to shill for Creality? Because I know I am. All right, let's go. 42 degrees north, whatever that means. Okay, 42 degrees north. What does that mean? It's a mystery. We have to figure out how to get there. It did. It kind of looked like it was pointing at the elevator. Do you want to say hi to the stream, guys?
What's going on?
Yeah, we got Jerry the Print House and
Stream.
JJ Shankles over here. All right, so apparently Creality's launching 2 new printers. We've got the, oh wow, this is like a GE headquarters building. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. We got all the GE cars, classic cars. But yeah, I got to figure out where we're going. We're actually a little late. But anyways, Creality launched 2 new products. They've got the K2, you know, we already saw the K2 Plus, but they've got the K2 and the K2 Pro, which are like lower cost models. I don't know if $1,200 is too much for you. Creality's got your back. So the K2 does not have a chamber heater. So it'll be like a lower end, less expensive one. It's got a print volume of 260 by 260 by something. And then the K2 Pro has the chamber heater, has a 300 by 300 millimeter build volume. Not sure when it's going on sale, not sure what the pricing is gonna be, but we're gonna figure it out, all right? So who's excited? Who's excited? Okay. So yeah, we're gonna see what's going on. Jostri is worried about tariffs, I think. And you know, that's a common theme out here. All these companies are worried about tariffs. We've seen price hikes from the Bamboo Lab machines. The X1C is now more expensive than all of its competitors. It's more expensive than the Core One. It's more expensive than the K2 Plus, which, you know, if it were me, I'd probably get the K2 Plus. But it's also more expensive than the Carbon, the Centauri Carbon, who keeps. All right. And the crowd goes wild. Oh no. I think we're going over this way. JJ's my handler today, so we've got to follow the signs. Let's go. All right. Very confusing here. So I'm also at Rapid TCT. I checked out a lot of technology here. I'll be making a quick video about that on my channel, and we'll be posting that soon. Okay, so who's hyped? I know I'm pumped. I haven't slept in let's see, I haven't slept in 36 hours. Got another 24 to go. We don't sleep until we learn about all the Creality products. Now, everybody play Spot the Bamboo Lab Mole, because you know they're gonna be here trying to figure out who is, what's going on, you know. All right, we got a Creality dirt bike, apparently. We've got some influencers here. I think I have to check in. Okay. Hi. Do you want to be on camera? I'm on stream. Do you want to say hi? Okay. Hi. Okay. She's checking us in, so thank you. I will take my badge. Oh, here's our program for the day. Oh my gosh, I'm speaking for an hour. I didn't realize I was going to be on stage, but I guess here we go. Just kidding, I'm not on there, but let's just see what's going to happen. They will tell us, you know, what's going on with these new products. All right, look at this. Wi-Fi.我说一点中，我说一点中国话。哦 ，Yeah.
Why? How?
你好。
You pronounce well.
What?
You talk so great.
Oh, okay, thank you. Well, I can't stream in here without a good I can't stream in here without a good Wi-Fi. So
I don't think.
we'll have to give it a try. Okay, so
Maybe check with Jorai so I can help.
okay. Okay.
Jorai.
Who? Oh, you? Hi. I'm having trouble with the. Oops. Sorry. All right, I'm having trouble with the internet here. There's too many people in that area. So let me know if it goes blank here. We're on 5G. 5G? Is everything working? Is everything working? Working? All right, so let's see if my internet picks up over here. Is the internet better over here? Okay. So without a proper internet connection? Oh, okay. I just have to be over on this side. And actually, I'm going to hook up this mic so you guys can hear me. And then we'll flip it around and take a look at some stuff. All right. Okay, here we go. This is the main event. Look at these guys. They love Creality. Everyone here loves Creality. Yeah. Then even these people love Creality as well. They couldn't fit inside of here, so they had to get boats. That seagull loves Creality as well. Yes. So that over there is Canada, I believe. That's the land of Nero 3Ds and or Canuck creators. All right. So yeah, I'm surprised that the overflow attendees are all out there. They're just begging to learn more about the K2. But let's just wait and see what we get. We've got this feel-good story over here. I'm very confused about what this is. I was not given any briefing on what this was, other than that I guess they were launching some new products. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've got here. Oh no. Check-in, opening remarks for 2 minutes, panel discussion, brand evolution overview, new product launch. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna have to wait for an hour. Then open networking / product experience. Wow, incredible. I don't know who's here. Let's see. I don't see any printers either. Does anyone see any printers here? I thought this was a 3D printer event. All right, so they better bring out the 3D printers at a later time. All right, so what do you guys think about this format? Do you guys like live streams in these events, or do you like live streams where I curse the printer that I'm trying to put together repeatedly? Oh, Winslow's out. He's like, you know what? I don't have time for this. With the tariffs, these won't see USA customers. That's a fair point. I don't know how the tariffs are going to affect the pricing, but maybe they've got that all figured out by now. All right. I'm glad I was able to find some Wi-Fi here. So, yeah, I just need to find some food. The food. But, yeah, all right. So, does anyone have any questions about Rapid TCT? Because I took a look at a lot of stuff there. All right, Oliver likes this stuff. All right, well, we're going to keep the stream going just for Oliver. So here we go. There's nothing really interesting going on up there right now. There is like a full table of random printers that we can take a look at while we're waiting for someone to get on stage. Excuse me.
Yeah, we wanted to see.
Yeah. Okay, so here is a gigantic 3D printed landscape. Probably done with like the new multicolor printers. Here they are. All right, so whoever left earlier, they're not gonna be here for the payoff. This is it, right here. What do you guys think?
K2 Pro.
All right, what do you want to know? We've got the printers right here. I can open these puppies up. We got a printer thing on the top. We've got professional live streamers over here. Okay, but anyways, the printers. So what do we see here? You can see this is our rounded edge. if you were to fall and your head like that, or maybe if you dropped it on your foot, then it would be more rounded, so it would be less damaging. We've got the touchscreen. Seems like similar or maybe a little bit cheaper of a touchscreen than what's on the K2 Plus. I think they reworked the hinge to be lower cost. This looks like an injection molded plastic piece, whereas the one on the K2 Plus, I believe, was a pretty solid metal one. Underneath, it's probably got metal. Seems to hold position pretty well, so I'm not too worried about that. It's not like you're going to be thrashing on that thing. Over here, let's take a look at print volume. All right, so 260 by 260 by 260. It's printing away. We got a little purge strip here. How does this purge strip look? The print head looks to be identical to the K2 Plus. I can't see any differences at the first look. And also, this is a much smaller frame, so it's going to be capable of higher speeds with all the other components being equal. Because basically it's just going to be less flexible because it's smaller with the same length, with the same profile of beams. And over here we've got the K2 Pro. We're printing out some Creality logos. Here we go. Printing away. Yeah, it looks like it's printing just fine. Now, does anyone wish... All right. I want to do a feature request. I don't know how to do a poll. Hey, how are you? Good. How are you doing? I'm doing a live stream. I'm doing good. Yeah. It looks good. It looks good to me. Do you want to be on camera or no?
No.
Okay. All right. I gotta get consent from people before shoving the camera in their face. So I'll catch up with him later. But anyways, yeah. So K2 Pro. This one has the chamber heater. Let's take a look here. There's the chamber temperature. I think I can actually set it to 60 degrees if I wanted to. I don't want to mess up the sprint though, so I'm going to leave it alone. This one has a chamber temperature readout, but I can't set the temperature. So, yeah. Oh no, I just pressed the button. I don't know what that's going to do. Oops. All right, but we have the CFS over here. Oh no, okay. I might have broken it by pushing excessive buttons. Yeah, 3-hour print. These are pretty big logos. And it looks like it's only going to take under 3 hours to print all these out. So that's pretty impressive. We got these little articulated snake things. And we're printing out 6 of those, and it's going to take 4 hours. So that's about 45 minutes per one of these little snakes. It's got some stuff there. All right, so is there a heater box underneath the chamber? Oh, that's a good question. So let's take a look at the bottom. Now, on the K2 Plus, there was quite a bit of space down here. It looks like there's less room for extra stuff down at the bottom. So they might be using more basic stepper motors, or they might be using just bearings and a belt to power both of those. We'll have to take it apart to really figure that out. You guys think I should take it apart right now, or should we wait? All right. All right, so sorry about the background noise. There's just a lot of stuff going on here. They stole the UI from Bamboo Labs. No comment. Okay, so over here, it looks like we've got transparent side panels. So you have like better visibility, like guys. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we've got transparent side panels, so you can see. If we open it up, you know, you can see everything that's going on. So you got great visibility of all the stuff in here. You can take a look at it from the side. You can take a look at it from the top. So really good visibility. Seems pretty nice. All right. I mean, yeah. Good stuff here. Good stuff. Impressive. Impressive. Okay. All right, guys, we're just going full on Creality shill mode today. So I know you guys are excited to hear about the products. So we're going to show you the products. The sweet, sweet products. Now, big question is how much are these going to cost, especially given the tariff situation. Is it going to drive prices up? Maybe. I don't know. How big is the build plate? Okay, so for the K2 standard edition, it's 260 by 260, which is the same size as the Creality High. And I guess that'll allow them to reuse some of the same components there, save on cost a little bit. And it's also just happens to be 4 millimeters bigger than the standard Bamboo Lab size printer. So yeah, I think there was a little bit of competitive benchmarking going on there. What else do we have here? We have Solian PLA. I guess it's a different type of PLA. There's some other stuff going on here too. So I'm focusing on the K2s, but there's a couple more things here. Take a look at this. So we've got the Otter Scan. This is like a lower cost scanning module. Not sure what the price is on that, but you can do some pretty detailed scanning with it. Then we've got the Raptor X, which is like a untethered. Well, it looks like it's plugged into a power supply there, but the whole power supply is built into the handle of this machine. So you can just, you don't have to worry about wires. You can just go ahead and scan things like this. You have to put these little reference dots on your parts when you're doing that. Oh, hi. Hey. Hi. So you have to put these little reference dots so that it gets like some good certainty about where it's detecting objects. This is the Raptor Pro. This one has like cross sensors or cross lasers. So instead of the collimated lasers going in one direction, kind of like when you get that basic paper that you write notes on, it's got like a grid. So that'll allow you to get scans a little more quickly. Hey, I'm on camera. My gosh, look at me. I'm a pop icon over here. Anyway, so let's see what else we got. All right, so here's the Halo X1.
It must be that.
Yeah, I am.
Only that told me about you. My Georgia.
Oh, okay. Do you want to be on camera? I'm streaming.
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hi. Yeah,
Oh,
sure. Yeah.
okay, hi.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
Okay, what was your name?
My name is Georgia.
Okay, Georgia.
Yeah, hi guys. Welcome to the online Creality's 11th anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the Halo X1.
Yeah.
Looks like it's got really good resolution. Now, I'm not a huge fan of resin printers, but if you want to get a resin printer, you probably want to get one with good resolution. So this looks pretty good to me. It's got this automated feed system. So it just pipes the resin into the back, and then it goes into the tray. And the tray moves up and down on this one. It's a little bit different. I haven't, I'm not a resin expert.
This is new motion structure.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to reduce shaking that because the model will become bigger and heavier when that print from bottom to the top. So
okay.
we change and we design new systems here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so the justification behind that design choice is basically when you print a really large object, it could weigh like 2 or 3 kilograms, and they want to make sure that the vat is the same weight from the top to the bottom. So that should, in theory, help make things a little more reliable.
That's really pretty. That is 16K resolution, true leveling free.
16K resolution.
16K.
You heard it here first, folks. Now, what do you guys think? Do we need more Georgia on the channel? Or are we voting Georgia off the island?
Yeah, enjoy the live stream.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. All right, so let me know in the comments. All right, here's the Falcon. Again, not a big fan of lasers, just like I'm not a big fan of these. I just like my good old FDM printers. But yeah, we've got, you got all the laser stuff here. You got this laser grid, ventilation, probably a filter. Now, this isn't gonna completely filter everything out, in my opinion, but it's gonna do an okay job. Here's a little pump that's gonna provide your air pressure to help blast through material a little bit better. And here's some sample prints off of the K2 Pro or the K2. Let's take a closer look at these. We need to know what the print quality is. Okay, then looks like we've got the Space Pi 4X over here. Space Pi X4. So this has 4 spools of filament in here, and it heats and dries things. Because as we all know, heating is not drying. Dry more, create more. So there you go. There you have it. All right, what do you guys think? Okay, Evo Sis says, let's keep Georgia. All right, well, Georgia's in the background there, but you're stuck with me. I am the host and the director of Nathan Builds Robots. So here we go. We've got some quick swap nozzles. I guess these are just replacement parts. And oh, would you look at this? That's a nice little upgrade. We've got the E3D high flow nozzle for K2. And what's this over here? We've got a silicon carbide nozzle. They worked with Fadis to make this, so that's pretty cool. We'll be able to handle harder materials, get better heat transfer, you know, all that good stuff, higher flow rates. And then what's this over here? This is a silicon carbide Fadis nozzle again. This is just regular spares. So these are the normal ones. This is just like a hardened steel nozzle. I would actually prefer to upgrade these just because one issue you get with nozzles that aren't extremely high quality is they tend to stick a little bit. Can you guys hear me at all? Oh, they're saying to go on silent mode. All right. There's a lot of noise going on here, though. Calmly take my seats. Hey. Hey. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna sit down and shut up. All right, that's our job here today. We're gonna see what's going on, and we're gonna enjoy the show. All right, here we go. All right, let's look at the print quality though. What do you think?
But it's been such a learning experience, and whether you're starting at the entry level or moving up to a professional, being trained to fantastic. So thank you so much.
Looks pretty good. All right, crazy clean. It's backwards. So yeah, this was printed face down. Maybe it's in mirrored mode because you know, I'm streaming and whatnot. Yeah, it's holographic. All right, so do you guys want me to like go up on stage and grill them about tariffs? What do you think? Do they need to be grilled? All right, so I'm gonna show you what's going on up on stage. Here we go. All right. You know, right over there, we don't have tariffs. Right over there. Right over in Canada. So if I need to get a 3D printer, I'll just go over there, pick it up, and bring it back. All right. Wow, this is... this seat reclines a little bit. Take a look at this. You wouldn't think it would recline. It looks like a normal cheapo conference seat. But the Marriott, they got the nice conference seats. You can lean back in these puppies. All right. So Jalisa, this is in Detroit, Michigan. Also known as Motor City, I believe. They just put 125% on tariffs? Oh, wow. You know, we're just making numbers up at this point. Let's put 500% tariffs. Tariffs are off the table for 90 days. You know what? It's all just made up. I have a feeling that this is just all a scam, and they're throwing massive tariffs on, shorting the stocks, making a lot of money, and be like, oh, never mind. And you know, it's like an infinite money printer when you can manipulate the stock market at this level. So, you know, Creality can print plastic objects, but if you're in politics, you can print money. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Show me the label is asking what size is the Pro. So I already explained this to everyone, and since you were late to class, you're holding all of us up, so we need to go back and repeat the material that we already covered. So here we go. I'm going to show you.
The event will begin shortly in 1 minute.
Here we go.
Can we please ask for your
Hey, how you doing? Hey. Do you want to be on camera? I'm streaming. You want to be on camera? I got the stream? No. Okay. I'm just showing everyone this stuff. All right, so I got to catch up with those guys off camera. They're very private people, you know. They don't want to tell you all the plans while the Bamboo fanboys are listening. I know you're out there. I bet there's at least 30 Bamboo Lab moles in my chat right now. So you gotta watch that. You know, gotta monitor things. Okay, here we go. 300 by 300 by 300. 260 by 260 by 260. K2. K2 Pro. Alright. Alright.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Should crash the Bamboo room? No, I wouldn't do that. Bamboo Lab are already having a hard time right now. They're having to increase their prices and stuff. Not good. Okay. Oh, shoot. All right, we're going to calm down. Is Bamboo Lab in the room with me right now? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. So I'm going to be a little quieter now.
The event will begin shortly. Can we please ask for you to kindly take your seats?
Christy knows. Marlin Firmware is not increasing the price on their firmware. That's good to know. Oh no, oh no. Sorry, I had to mute that.
Let's go to Creality. On behalf of Creality, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you to our 11th anniversary and product announcement event here in Motor City. My name is Duke, and I'll be your MC and host for the event. This year's celebration is extra special. It's our first ever birthday event in the United States.
Extra special.
That round of applause. Today we reflect on Creality's incredible years, 11 years in the 3D space, and unveil the next innovations shaping our future. As we look back with pride and ahead with excitement, we want to thank you, our global Creality crew, both live and virtual, for joining us today.
I'd just like to clarify, I am not the Creality crew. Okay.
We've prepared an
I'm not the Creality
lineup,
crew.
including inspiring stories, cutting-edge product announcements, and insights from our leadership team. Speaking of which, I'd like to now introduce Larry Yee, Creality's Vice President and Chief Strategy Officer, to give the opening remarks.
Well, thank you for the introduction from Duke. Thanks to everyone for attending our 11th anniversary of Creality. I'm greatly honored to be here sharing the exciting moment with all you guys. So our company has a historic and established footprint during the past 11 years. And we have achieved a lot of milestones. So we have built the brand from scratch in 2014, and we have sold millions of printers, lasers, and scanners all over the world. However, we still remember the first day when we founded the company, the motto from the bottom of our heart, that is fulfilling the dreams of makers and innovative products based on the opinions from every maker. Especially for our user, family, in the States. So this country is full of creativities and freedom springs. So these memories are from the DNA of every person in this territory. Thanks for your help, our United States family. Fortunately, with all the support from all of you, we are still on our original path and realizing our vows. At the same time, further, we have tapped into this fascinating industry. The more voices we have to listen to. We will never ever forget the sounds from every maker in our Creality family, and we could go to nowhere without the support from all you guys. So here, I'm gonna announce Creality will value every member's sound in our family much more than we have done for the last 11 years. And we are thinking about from the long-term way
He gave me a tripod.
is
So
how to empower every maker, not only by printers, scanners, and lasers, these physical tools, but a new and complete ecosystem with all the family and create some sort of novel approach to make every maker happier here and much more happiness we can dig out than any other place. So let's keep all specific innovations on the wrap, and we will unravel all of this day by day from now on. We will see. And thanks for coming again. Creality loves all you guys, and please allow me to representing all our members
Mike is in
to
timeout.
wish Creality
Mike is
happy
in
birthday.
timeout for 30
Thank
minutes.
you.
Okay, sorry.
Fantastic, truly inspiring words, Larry. Thank you so much. Once a futuristic novelty found in expensive labs, thanks to Creality, 3D printing is now an affordable, adaptable tool reshaping how we build, design, teach, heal, and even express ourselves. From revolutionizing industrial production, sparking creativity in STEM education, disrupting the medical and prosthetics industry, and reimagining art and design. Creality machines have transformed industries worldwide.
Okay. Okay.
So today we'll actually hear from this brilliant panel, each offering a unique lens on the evolution. Here with me we have Sterling Backus, Rick Womack, Ian Davis, and Dylan O'Connell. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Give a round of applause. Well, as you probably know, 3D printing had its start and has often been associated with engineering and fabrication. Once inaccessible to the world, the open source Maker Initiative and 3D printing revolution has changed all that. And Creality's place as a major player in the industry supplying 3D printers to the masses has allowed industrial prototyping and fabrication to be done in homes. Our next speaker, laser physicist and supercar maker Sterling Backus, has reinvented industrial prototyping to fit into his garage by custom fabricating supercars in his driveway. That's wild. Sterling, thanks for being here, sir. Your big story with Creality started from a small thought during some father and son time. Tell us how you went from playing games to production in your garage.
Well, thank you for having me here. It's a real pleasure. So we started our journey basically with a video game that my son and I played, where we were always driving the Lamborghini Aventador. It was our favorite car. We both loved it very, very much. And one day my son quipped to me, he said, "Hey Dad, can we build one of those?" And most fathers out there would say, yeah, right, or no. But I actually said yes, because I thought it was kind of a cool challenge, and it would also be a great way of showing my son some of these technologies and getting him into mechanics and things of that nature. So we started our journey by building a car from scratch, and it was going to be a Lamborghini Aventador. But we had a challenge. The challenge was, how are we going to make the car panels? Are we going to use standard techniques, or are we going to use something really cool? Well, we decided to use something really cool. I had experience from my job for doing 3D printing, and we've seen how much that technology had improved over time and how much the cost had come down. And so that's when we decided to use Creality's CR10S to print the entire body shell of a life-size Lamborghini. And that story doesn't really end there. The story actually continues by when we actually got to the media and started doing interviews about our project. It was a cool father-son project, plus it was interesting because it was a Lamborghini Aventador, excuse me. And then Lamborghini themselves got a hold of the story. And a lot of you out there are probably wondering, uh-oh, is this going to be a problem? So I got a call from the Chief Marketing Officer, Katia Bassi, at Lamborghini in Sampagata, Italy. And when she introduced herself, the first thing I said to her was, am I in trouble? Her response was no, very much not. That they loved the project, that everybody was talking about it at the factory, and the fact that we were using 3D printing was something that they were very interested in. And so they decided they were going to do a Christmas commercial with us, so they came over to the United States. I'm sure they didn't fly coach. And we did a Christmas commercial, which is probably the best Christmas we'll ever have. So that is part of our journey.
And what an incredible journey that must have been. So Sterling, with the advancements in materials and consumer 3D printers moving industry level with industry grade performance, do you feel like the gap is being closed? How far do you think we are away from everyone being able to do impossible feats of fabrication just like you are?
I actually think we're there. I mean, from the car community's perspective, we used to have to go through very great lengths in order to make body panels for the cars and really look at a vision that we have for that vehicle. But now with 3D printing, we have a powerful tool in order to not only make these panels and see our vision come to life, but also make changes on the fly. And so, for us in the car community, I think we are pretty much there. The costs coming down, the amazing printers that Creality puts out has really allowed us to do the things that we want.
Fantastic. So, as a maker car expert, where do you see 3D printing technology making the biggest advancements in the automotive industry?
So I think from my perspective, it would be basically 3D metal printing, being able to get that to the hobbyist so that we can actually expand that power that we need for doing like body panels and things like that, to actually doing suspension components and other things of that nature. That would be very powerful.
That's Sterling, honestly, thank you for your insight. You really are an inspiration to followers. Now, Sterling's story of introducing advanced tools to his son reflects a global trend that we're seeing. 3D printers are becoming central to STEM education both at home and in schools. Educators are launching fab labs, tech clubs, and using these tools to inspire hands-on learning. In the hands of passionate teachers like our next speaker, 3D printers are more than classroom devices. They're catalysts for a brighter, more dynamic future for all. who better to comment on this than our next speaker, Rick Womack, lab manager and milestone instructor at Purdue University, who leads the renowned Purdue 3D Printing Club, empowering students with the latest in Creality technology. Rick, tell us a little bit about your efforts at Purdue.
Thank you, Duke. Our efforts were, we got introduced to 3D printing, and we discovered that there was a lot of maintenance, and this is 20 years ago. So there was a lot of maintenance involved with, in between each model. So we decided to get some students involved, create a club, and where they could learn all about maintaining the machines and get involved into building machines, creating models, CAD, scanning, and all of these other things. I think that's it for that first answer.
So, you know, with your unique perspective, do you think 3D printing itself will become a subject of study on its own, or
Windows
will it
update
just
time.
be a tool like a pencil?
So I believe that the 3D printing will develop as a field of study, and I also believe it's going to turn into a full-blown collegiate major. Because students should learn about printer design, the actual printer, and the different environments it could be in at your home, on Mars, and anywhere in between. Students should learn about the maintenance of the printer and its durability. We believe that students should learn about various material types and those material capabilities. We also think that we should focus on model output and the quality of the models. We believe that students will also learn about scanners and lasers in this process as a family of machines around 3D printing. So we have seen 3D printing advance greatly over the past 20 years. And now is the time to make this a real subject of study. And even a new study field like machine design. So that's what I have.
So, you know, that leads me to my next question now. The basic concepts of in technology of 3D printing carry over to so many industries. How do you think 3D printers will change the educational science when it comes to learning how to incorporate it in so many of these separate interdisciplinary subjects?
So many of us know when you're in school, there's always a project due. And you know, you typically had to cut some cardboard or something and glue something together. Now you can 3D print it. And I see students from all majors at Purdue University, and there's 14 different engineering majors. But we see this in music, the field of food research, and etc. You know, art, the list goes on, and 3D printing is involved in all of these things.
Fantastic. You know, it's absolutely amazing. You know, I really actually envy the opportunity that students have these days using tools and technology. You know, this is stuff that I only saw in science fiction stories when I was a kid. You know, what once felt like science fiction, like 3D printed organs, you know, 3D printed bionic hands, it's quickly, obviously becoming a reality. 3D printing is disrupting the prosthetics and wearables field, with Creality technology enabling everything from expandable prosthetics for growing children to custom braces and orthotics. We are making the inaccessible accessible. And who better to talk to you about this than this subject than our next speaker, mechanical engineer and part-time cyborg, Ian Davis. Ian, it's honestly a pleasure to have you. I've actually followed your journey from the very beginning, and your transformation of a major obstacle in your life into innovation in prosthetics is truly inspiring. Share your story.
Thanks, Duke. So, first I'd like to thank everybody that's been following along with my progress on my YouTube channel. I really appreciate all your support, all your suggestions that I've reached in the comment section. for those that aren't aware, I run the YouTube channel Missing Parts Club, where my project's main focus is to design, develop, and eventually bring to market, make available a DIY mechanical partial hand prosthetic device in a DIY format, where the end user is responsible for fitting and finishing the fingers and then casting the residual in and building their interface socket. This would sidestep, clinician and the reliance on, the medical field when your device ends up failing, because everything mechanical will eventually need maintenance fail. You will be intimately familiar with how the device works, and you'll be able to repair it yourself. Same thing with the socket. When you lose weight, gain weight, or the socket just stops fitting as it should, since you built the original socket, you know how to trim, how to refit it to where it's going to fit your residual limb and be more comfortable, as your device wears. My story actually starts on this part in 2018 when I lost the fingers in my dominant hand as a result of a bone infection, blood infection, septicemia, gangrene. You were going to die. This was after spending a year at UAMS in Little Rock, Arkansas, undergoing chemotherapy and an autologous stem cell transplant for multiple myeloma, a terminal form of blood cancer. So needless to say, I kind of had a rough couple of years. Before that, starting in '96, I kind of had my life figured out. I ran a machine shop, a welding shop. I was doing structural steel, ornamental iron, and that went pretty good until 2008. Financial crisis had to pivot the shop to be more of a design, iteration, prototype machine shop. And that would prove to be incredibly beneficial when 20 years later I'm finding that I'm needing to turn that technology and
Bug, show some respect. You little rascal.
Able to build a design and device for myself. After 4 or 5 rounds of back and forth with my insurance company, and them determining that fingers are considered a luxury, I took it upon myself that, well, nobody's going to be taking care of this for myself, so I might as well, do for me. Eventually, the insurance company was kind enough to determine they were going to buy me an OSER iDigits quantum device. So that entailed going to the OSER Institute in Dublin, Ohio, and where they built and fit the device. On my way back, I had the first opportunity for public failure of my brand new, coolest kid on the playground device, where I just got to pay way, grabbed my orange chicken lunch, running to Concourse B to make my flight with United, and the batteries died in my prosthetic hand, and it opened up, spilling my now lunch all over Concourse B. So there I am, late for my flight, cleaning up orange chicken with a hand that doesn't work. A hand is essentially a brick now. And that is why I've chosen to, on this journey, on this device, to only have it be mechanically body powered and driven, just for lack of point of failure.
Statistic that I found for those who aren't familiar with Ian's work, all 4 hands are completely mechanically driven. Just no electronics, nothing to die, no batteries, nothing, just from simple movements of his hand and wrist structure, he's able to flex those fingers exactly, if not better, than a regular human being. So his work is absolutely incredible. And touching on how incredible your work is, I have to ask, do you think current 3D printing technology has a place in biocompatible wearables? Is there something that we need to improve on? Is it ready for mainstream for people to do exactly what you're doing?
Mainstream, yes and no. With the Creality ecosystem, I was able to iteratively create this forearm cup without the use of CAD. I was able to, with the Ferret Pro scanner, scan my forearm and residual limb, take that, bring it into mesh mixer, chop off the ends, make a 3mm shell, then print that shell on the 3D printer, and then physically trim it to about the shape that I was looking for. Then take some EVA foam, super glue, cut it out into an ISO grid, super glue it onto this, and between scanning and printing, I was able to make this mechanical part without the use of CAD. You know, CAD is a real barrier of entry for a lot of these things. And being able to sidestep that, build whatever your project is out of a more easily manipulated material, and then change it with 3D printing into a more durable and, I guess, economical, efficient material just through scanning and printing. It's, you know, that's a huge thing to come to the market in this ecosystem, even just over the last 5 years.
Of course. And just to clarify for those non-makers or non-designers, CAD stands for
Computer-aided design.
Fantastic. So that's essentially just designing things on the computer, and it's a skill set that can be acquired or is taught, but like you said, it is a barrier to entry, and it is fantastic with our scanners and our 3D printers that he just makes it look easy. So I have to say, honestly, so your ingenuity and your resilience are truly superhuman. Now, speaking of superhumans, the rise of superheroes and pop culture has reshaped how we see technology in the creative history of our world. Thanks to inventive cosplayers, artists, and prop makers, Creality 3D printers are turning iconic characters and gadgets into real-world creations. Here to dive into how 3D printing is fueling creativity is our very own Marvel maker, Dylan from Saturday Night Vlogs. Dylan, your content has just inspired thousands to become makers. You share skills, tutorials, and even insider tips that have made 3D printing a go-to tool for the creative and the nerdy alike. Tell us a little bit how your journey as a maker has happened and how Creality has fit into that journey.
Well, they put me last after having this amazing panel up here. We have a laser physicist who made a Lamborghini, a professor at Purdue, and a guy who knows how fast a neuron tells your fingers to open. And I sand and paint really well. So it's a big thing to follow up. I wish the Lamborghini guy was last. And I know when they said cyborg, you looked at me, but you know, I'm just trying to be as cool as him. No, but my name's Dylan. I run Saturday Morning Props. I teach on YouTube how to make, you know, different movie props and things like that from all the way from Star Wars, Marvel, DC. But I also teach tips and tricks on how to get into 3D printing. When I first got into 3D printing, I knew this is what I wanted to make with it. I didn't even know that you could do the amazing things that they did. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna make my first Mandalorian helmet, or you know, make the Iron Man suits, because it was something that I dreamed of. When I got into this, I had used an CR10 to make that old Iron Man suit, and it was a dream come true. It never gets old. Walking into your room, maybe getting scared sometimes, seeing that thing just standing up there, it's really, really fun. This year, I used Creality's Ender 3 V3 Plus to make a life-size pit droid from Star Wars Episode 1. And that was another dream come true. When I was so young, seeing Star Wars Episode 1, you guys may not like the prequels, I love them. But there's a young Anakin working with droids, you know, the first C-3PO you see. And seeing that, it's like always something that I dreamed of. I may never took it to the level of, you know, Purdue and laser physicist, but I still ended up with the droid in my room, all thanks to Creality and their large format printers. I've loved their build volumes on everything, and then I've also used it now to make other suits. My buddy wanted a Batman suit, so you know, another billionaire superhero. I was able to make a full-size Batman like armored suit on the Creality K2 Plus, and that machine is just cheating now. When I had to use the CR10, it was a lot of, you know, learning how to bed level and all those things, troubleshooting. Now these printers are amazing. They come to you, you take out 4 bolts, you attach the screen, they calibrate, and they're ready to roll, which is just so cool, because my whole goal, like I said, was to teach people how to do this, how they can do it I'm a regular guy and I get to do all of these things, I can teach you guys how to do that as well. So with these devices, they really are opening the doors for everybody to do that. And then with model companies that are already trying to put out the latest trend from the movie trailer, you don't have to worry about that. You know, it's just amazing.
Amazing. Honestly, you're an inspiration to makers, and the definition of makers now are aspiring to be. So thank you. And, you know, my question for you is, you've got obviously a fairly unique perspective when it comes to prototyping. You really need to balance form and function while staying true to the inspiration of the products. Most of these items do not, or they just can't exist in the real world. Like an Iron Man suit, I can't see it existing in the real world until makers like you started creating them. So my question is for you, you know, where do you even start replicating this? Like, how do you start designing this?
Yeah, so for me, luckily, like I said, there are wonderful model companies out there that are doing amazing cosplay files for you already. I joke that I'm like the most generic sized person. I built like a Ken doll. If you've ever been to an Old Navy, I'm pretty sure the mannequin was modeled after me. So luckily I fit all these suits like a little plastic action figure anyways. So when it comes to form and function, aesthetically these fit me very well, which is awesome. But yeah, you do have to choose kind of two routes usually. It is, do you choose it to be as close to the thing that you see on screen, or do you give it a few gaps that have a little bit more mobility and things like that to make it more functional? I usually try to lean as close to aesthetically pleasing as possible. I don't mind walking around like Frankenstein out on the con floor as long as the suit looks good, you know, so that's where I kind of take it. There are different things as I learn, like things that I'll fix, or, you know, with how printing's going. I mean, gosh, the TPUs, the flexible filaments, all that, it's getting pretty crazy, right? And with these box printers, TPU and stuff like that is easier than ever to do this. The direct drives, like everything is direct drive now. So it's been wonderful. We're going to see some amazing cosplays come out soon just because of how the technology has gone.
Absolutely, you know it. So it's kind of a second part to your question. What actually are your biggest challenges in, you know, the process? Is it concept? Is it prototyping? Is it design? Is it expanding your skills? And how do you tackle this?
Yeah, the first one is the time. So every step of this process will shock you at how long it takes. You may have something in your mind and like, oh yeah, I'll finish this in a week, and it's always just a jumble. The time commitment to making a project like this is extreme. Faster now because these printers are super fast. When I printed the original suit, it was on a CR10, then I had to buy another one because to get through this, it was taking quite a long time. So just sheer amount of time commitment. But yeah, harnessing and figuring out how you're going to get the pieces to subduct below each other, learning all of that is definitely kind of interesting and something that you have to kind of play around with. Yeah, overall, the time is the hardest.
Amazing. My last question I have to ask, it's a really stupid one. Can't help myself. Any superpower you could have, what would it be?
Flying, easily flying. Oh, man, this week has been amazing. I did a Comic-Con in Washington, D.C. called AwesomeCon. I had a booth there where I was, again, using the nerdy franchises to teach people that you guys can 3D print. They can see all these things and then come into something that they like and see, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is all 3D printed. Like, no way. And like, now teaching them that they may never have thought of 3D printing in that way, getting to see it. But yes, I did AwesomeCon. I drove 8.5 hours from there to here, and then after I leave here tomorrow, I go to Chicago for another Comic-Con, and then a 12-hour drive home from that on Sunday. So it has been absolutely crazy, wonderful events, and thank you guys for having me. But if I could fly, it would be a lot easier.
We'll see if we can make that happen. So let's get some discussion going with, you know, a panel of such unique skills and experiences. I'd like to see if we can have a little bit of discussion. So this question is actually directed toward Dylan. If your work focuses on functional wearables, accessories, and prosthetics, while Dylan, your work is centered around art and form, You may have heard about the many prosthetics initiatives that are being developed with 3D printers, attempting to balance this, especially those with electronics, sensors, lights, and even themed around superheroes. Where do you feel the 3D printing will find its own in the wearables and audio-visual community? Are we actually ready to roll over with education? Not close to being the other people 3D printing extra prosthetic limbs for function and form. We're just sometimes. What's going on?
So I think that the additional limbs and the functional, not just for decoration, it's still really helpful. It's really helpful going forward to interface and control it some other way and getting up some other physical motion to either provide it torso or the other to the wrist. I think there's still ways out there. The other thing is it's always something like like BBSC at the time, and that's an amazing, filament. But even that, it's still not as strong as say like mag aluminum that I'm using on my fingers. So I think, with the neural interface for controlling devices and materials and everything, I think we'll see what will come into it. But that also, that's the way. How often you're actually going to be using these. Say now, say it's for some reason. Drive system, computer system, and other battery pack. All of that is estimated to be backing around for maybe a use.
Yeah, so I'm really just starting to maybe not thinking of the entire process of it, but there are so many strengths of 3D printing that are already making their ways into the medical fields with 3D printed braces, and like we talked about the flexible filaments. Maybe it's 3D printing a sleeve to go over the limb before putting on the crossbody, or it's troubleshooting and prototyping. First printing that thing in a cheap filament, using a PLA, something that, you can do billions of prototypes first before sending it to an expensive company to make it out of something that is more reliable and durable. So I definitely think it has a place there. And then also for the art style of it, I have a buddy named Bionic Armory. He's an awesome guy, and he has a prosthetic, and he loves to add flair to his limb, where maybe it's copying other superheroes that also have a bionic arm. Somebody from an anime who has a cybernetic arm. He loves to add that flair to it, and that's awesome because he'll tell you that he doesn't want his limb to try to pretend to look like a human limb. He wants it to be cool and flashy and be the cyborg.
So now, speaking of cool and flashy and exciting, that leads me to my next question. And this question is about Sterling and Rick. But anyone can chime in if they feel like it. Sterling, you literally drive around with something cool and flashy to get people excited about 3D printing. Rick, you guide people through the basics of the technology from the ground up, bringing projects, possibilities to completely fresh minds. I see this sort of as an end result versus a ground up debate. But what do you feel is the most important aspect of getting people excited about 3D printing? Is it the direct use? Is it the end product, the technology moving and whirring around itself? Or is it all of the markets that it's in? Sterling?
I would say it's all of the above. It's really important for us now with the Lamborghini project to use it as a STEM tool or STEAM tool in order to promote 3D printing and technology in general. And so I think that all of those things that we're doing with that particular project is really starting to attract a lot more people to the makerspace.
So I do agree with Sterling. I think it's all of it. And we want to teach people about the different platforms and resources so that they can be good at it. If you don't have a CAD background, you can scan it if you want to get good at something. actually builds a device, a scanning device.
Yeah,
You were
scanning
telling
over
me.
the
Right.
scanning by forearm. Because pulling a scanner and getting it to work as you do traffic is incredibly hard when you're doing it by yourself. So I built this, it's a geared ring that holds a Barrett Pro. The greatest thing about that is now it's completely wireless and you can Wi-Fi scan directly to your computer, so through your cell phone. So, the scanner goes by your arm, you can turn your clockwise, slowly retract it, and then you have a complete model of your arm without losing traffic. And that was awesome.
Yeah, so my background was in building as a child, and when you want to build things, you want the best tools available. So that's why I think we want to teach people about the different types of tools and get them to be really good at that, and putting all of this together to create
Inspiration, guys, honestly. This is amazing. You know what? I have my 2 final questions that I'd like to request from all of you. Obviously, I have 4 experts, all individually different fields. You all, of course, actually have one thing in common, where you're all proponents of 3D printing and technology through adoption and exposure. There's some out there who feel 3D printing doesn't have a place in the hands of regular people. It doesn't have a place in our homes. And, it should be beside regular technology like cell phones and computers and laptops. So the first part of my question is, what would you say to all those naysayers who feel 3D printing just doesn't belong in the hands of the everyday person? And the second part is, you are all very clearly role models and educators to our next generation who dove headfirst into making. What advice do you have to help makers? Sure.
Yeah, so the first part of your question is a good one, because basically we as a car community are kind of in our infancy of adopting this technology. And so you're going to find a lot of naysayers about, wanting to cross that barrier to get into 3D printing, to making car parts. And so what we are trying to do is grow a community, and Creality has been part of that community, for us to be able to talk to other folks that are doing our projects across our community and YouTube, and I call it YouTube University, where everybody's teaching each other. I think, one of the barriers is the ability to be okay with failing, okay? Be okay with screwing up or failing. And that is really important, because as a scientist, I do that every day, right? Because we try something out, it doesn't work, so then we try again with more information. So I think that those are the key points.
So if at first you don't succeed, print again.
A lot.
Rick, how about you?
Yes, I'd like to address the second part, to the naysayers of 3D printing. A 3D printer is an invaluable tool. Let's say the trap on your sink develops a leak, and you're just out in the wilderness in your home or 100 acres by yourself. You can print that trap and put it on your sink and fix it yourself. Another example is, toys, things like that. You can do that to help educate your children, and they can create their own toys, even if it's simple toys like balls and blocks or whatever. But they can do these things at home. You don't have to go to Hasbro for that. You just don't have to go shopping for that. You can create these things at home. So it's a tool to solve problems, and it's a tool to have fun with. And that's what I see. To the next thing.
So I'm going to have to agree with Sterling, about the design and fail and design and fail. I actually, if you look at any of the, I think it was the 157 hand. It was early on, it was before this series of fingers, but I got to the very end. I'm 2,500 hours into this project. I start wearing it. I decide, oh my gosh, I hate this thing. And yet I have like 3/4 of a year and thousands of dollars invested in it. It's like, well, that's kind of my wall. And so, the neat thing is with the materials and the machines that are available now, the rapid iteration, I was able to go from initial sketch to first plastic version of this design at the finger within, I think it was 12 weeks from talking about napkin sketch to I had, manipulation, the parts that I can actually manipulate. I couldn't actually load because wrong material, wrong application. But, being able to iterate that fast is incredible.
I love how Ian is more expressive with his artificial hand than most people are with their real hands. So, cool stuff.
For everyone, and
It's not just like a functional thing, it's a way of communicating. So,
for everyone.
pretty interesting.
The thing I come across is maybe misinformation, them thinking that printers are super expensive, thinking that they have to have a technical know-how for it, and thinking that it is used for the sciences only. But that's just them not understanding the information or not being informed about it, where printers have become so affordable. Thank you, Creality, for that. They're becoming plug and play, where like you said, you unscrew 4 bolts, you attach the screen, and it calibrates when you're ready to roll. So it really is getting to this part where everyone can do it. And then yes, you don't have to make a cybernetic hand or send people to Mars. You can organize your desk. It gets addicting with 3D printing whatever you like. If you have a Kindle and you want to go chill in the tub and you want something to put your Kindle on, somebody's probably already modeled a stand for you, and then you don't even have to think about it. Somebody's probably sliced it for you and is ready to print, just waiting for you. So give it a try. Try some of your local spaces like your libraries, or see if your schools have a program for you to give this a try. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised and enjoy the hobby. And then YouTube University, we will teach you everything. Come ask questions. The 3D printing community is a wonderful resource that is open and willing to talk to you about it.
Fantastic. So to summarize, maybe tonight you'll Creality and come to yourselves. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. You represent the core values of everything Creality has worked so hard.
That was a shameless Creality plug, just so you guys know.
To have you join us in giving these gentlemen a very big round of applause. Fantastic. As we grow and evolve, Creality's mission remains the same, making advanced, affordable technology accessible to every home. We're now aiming beyond mass adoption, strategically expanding into a variety of markets such as industry, healthcare, education, and the arts, of course. As our aspirations grow, so does our evolution. I'd like to bring Anil Ma, Head of Branding and Marketing, to explain more about our evolution.
I thought that was me. Never mind.
Hi. Thank you, Duke. 11 years ago, we began our journey in the world of 3D printing with one simple idea: to make 3D printing more accessible and useful for everyone. So fast forward to today, powered by a rapidly growing global tech landscape and backed by a full lineup of innovative 3D printing solutions, we've become a top player in the industry. As Creality has grown over the years, it's not just about our technology and products that have evolved. Our brand has too. And today, I'm very excited to share with you 2 key updates about our brand that mark the beginning of a new chapter. Welcome to Creality 3.0. To get it started, I will talk a little bit about forms. So, Often of the time, people don't take a lot of attention to fonts, but fonts actually are more than just letter on screen or paper. They are a voice, a personality, and a statement, all wrapped into one visual form. Look at Creality in 5 different fonts.
This is very Steve
Because
Jobs.
completely different, right?
Steve Jobs did a whole
That's the
speech
power of
about
the
how
power.
typefaces
It
were important
influences how people feel about your
for
brand
product
instantly.
development.
A strong typeface helps to unify everything, from your website, your product packaging, your ads, and your social media. It becomes part of your identity, just like your logo, colors, or topographies. That's why choosing the right font is more than a design decision.
I think they should
It's
use
a
Comic
strategic
Sans.
It tells your story, reflects your values, and connect with your audience without saying a word. So today, I'm thrilled to announce that Creality has joined forces with FounderType to launch our very own one-of-a-kind brand typeface. Built with strategic interests and carrying forward the signature custom element from the Creality logo, this custom font is designed for both function and flexibility. It adapts seamlessly across various use cases, all while reinforcing our brand identity at every touch. And here it is, introducing Creality Sense. It includes a full range of different symbols, characters, different font ways, making it very versatile for any use case or design scenarios. So, after the first part, aside from fonts, another key element brands often turn to while building their identities using a mascot. A mascot isn't only just a cute character, it's a storyteller, a bridge between the brand and its audience. It brings personality, emotion, and life to a brand in a way that logos and tagline alone just can't. So everybody remember this little guy, Kuva? He has been the face of Creality for nearly a decade now. And just like our brand is evolving to reach new heights, so is Kuva. So if you've been following us on social media, you might have noticed he has been on a bit of a solo leveling journey of his own. So I'll just show you a quick video to see what he has become. As you can see, Kuva has evolved, now reimagined as a multi-functional, adaptive knowledge, 3D engineering robot, or simply Maker. Maker features a bold, triangular frame inspired by the Creality logo, a center with a signature bright green finish. With a very expressive pixel-style eyes and mechanical nubes, Maker brings personality, innovation, and a futuristic vibe to the brand. More than just a mascot, he also represents the spirit of every creator on Olympus. Adaptive, curious, and always pushing the boundaries of 3D viewing. Maker will also be featured across a variety of exclusive merch and items. And everyone at this event will be among the first to get their hands on them. So just grab the swag bag at the registration counter that you come in on your way out. Okay, so that wraps up the 2 key launches about our branding, kicking off our Creality 3.0 era. As you have just heard, evolution is a major focus for us moving forward, from our aspiration to our brand and marketing. But let's not forget about the most important part of the revolution, definitely, our technology and our product. To dive deeper into that, I will hand it back over to Duke to tell you a little bit more.
Thank you. Once again, Emil Ma, our head of branding and marketing for Creality. Thank you so much, Emil. Now, it's time for the main event, a look at our products for 2025. And to begin, I'm here to introduce what we think will be a worldwide game changer and the newest addition to the Creality FDM portfolio. The K2 series of 3D printers, next-gen fleet for the next-gen leader. But before I actually get into the series, let's take a look at the flagship model, which started the K2 lineup. The K2 Plus. Our users wanted to push the boundaries of 3D printing into the next generation, wanting bigger build volumes, faster speeds, multicolor capabilities with engineering-grade filament compatibility. So we listened, we innovated, and we released the K2 Plus. Featuring AI technology, hyper-speed motion, powerful filament extrusion systems with multicolor and engineering material support. With a build size of 350 millimeters cubed, the K2 Plus was the most advanced machine we've ever released. And the world recognized that with the first releases selling out within just a few seconds. From there, the momentum only grew, with reviews and customer feedback flooding in. Our YouTube community unanimously agreed this machine was the game changer for Creality. It was the best Creality printer they've ever owned, producing outstanding multicolor prints easily, intuitively, and super fast. This machine was the new standard for 3D printers, but you don't need to take my word for it. Hear it for yourselves.
They didn't ask me if I could do that.
Their flagship K2 Plus brings features from far more expensive printers into the realm of, well, maybe I could actually buy that.
The way that they integrated this into a really high-spec, really capable machine has been working reliably for me.
This one gives me more print volume, and it's also got potentially more upgradability too.
I think this might be my new favorite printer. This thing is so big and so easy to use that you can just print anything on here.
The hardware build quality is excellent, the surface quality and accuracy are impressive.
The bed also heats up like really fast, surprisingly fast, given just how large the machine is. So very pleasantly surprised with that as well. I think it produces incredible prints and it's going to be a very appealing option for a ton of people.
This is the Creality K2 Plus. It's big, it's fast, and I'm loving it.
You know, these reviews were absolutely fantastic to hear, but what really resonated with us was the colorful creativity crafted by this machine. Look at these stunning works of art. All of these works of art, engineering, and creativity flowed through filament like we've never seen before. The K2 Plus was the engine powering global creativity, just as the original Ender 3 had all those years ago. Artists, designers, and engineers now collaborating across vast distances to create beautiful products on their desks in hours instead of days or weeks. This marked the dawn of a new era in 3D printing, the Maker 2.0 revolution. And this is only just the beginning. So this leads us here to today, to the lineup we know will bring 3D printing into every household across the globe. The K2 series, a series which takes all of the cutting edge features our users love about the K2 Plus and assimilates them into two efficient form factors complete with features like the matrix frame, a marvel of form and function, an exoskeleton made with an aerospace alloy of aluminum, die cast to exact tolerances to form a rigid, ultra-strong frame capable of handling the forces of ultra-high speed 3D printing. Now this is the foundation which the motion system is built on. A motion system designed and precision-tuned for ultra-fast 600 millimeters per second print speed without compromising print quality. Moving beyond traditional stepper motors, we implemented a cutting-edge system of step servo motors and controllers that continuously monitor, calculate, and drive precision, efficient, and responsive movements. Real-time monitoring and adjustment minimizes heat and wear, maximizes torque on demand for ultra speed and agility, guaranteeing flawless print quality at unmatched speeds through intuitive, complete automation. Now, to keep up with the blazing fast motion system, Creality engineered a high-performance filament extrusion system to seamlessly deliver precise, reliable filament flow to maintain consistent print quality at exceptional speeds. So we achieve this with a hardened steel geared extrusion system that delivers filament to a high flow, 40 millimeters cubed per second, 300 degrees Celsius hot end, extruding to a tri-metal hardened steel nozzle. This integrated step servo extrusion motor continuously responds to filament feeding to prevent filament binding or clogging. This ultimately produces flawlessly smooth layers, exceptional surface finishes, and supports a broad range of engineering abrasive materials. Now, multiple part cooling fans lock in quality and dimensional accuracy at these top speeds. Speaking of broad filament compatibility, the K2 lineup will handle any filament you throw at it, from beautiful PLAs, robust PETG, stretchy TPU, all the way to engineering filaments like ABS, ASA, and their many carbon fiber variants. The K2 lineup handles it all with ease, shattering the boundaries of design and desktop fabrication for our users. Now, for users looking to push the boundaries of consumer to industrial use, the K2 lineup's standard enclosure and filtration system also features an active enclosure heater, enabling internal temperatures of up to 60 degrees Celsius. This enhances filament versatility, allows for the use of high temperature materials like nylons and polycarbonates to create engineering masterpieces like this beautiful Honda sports bike. The orange body panels that you see here were actually custom designed and printed on our K2 line with engineering filaments. It's really beautiful, right? Now, once painted and installed, this bike is a work of art on wheels, thanks again to the advanced capabilities of the K2's engineering filament support. So to control all of this advanced machinery, we know we needed an equally advanced UI, one that supports next-gen features intuitively for any user, while maintaining the modding flexibility and open source expandability that all Creality users have always loved. This is where our complete redesign of Creality OS, beautifully featured on full color touch screens with seamless wireless control through many of our applications, assures a premium experience. With embedded support for our Creality filament system, multicolor printing has never been easier to set up. And of course, like the K2 Plus, the entire K2 lineup is open source, with embedded Moonraker and Fluid built right in for our modding masters. Intuitive control still wasn't enough for us. We wanted the K2 series to function nearly autonomously. And for this, we leveraged over a dozen smart sensors, dual cameras, advanced programming to build the K2 fleet's AI monitoring system. Automatic detection of print anomalies or failures will actually pause and notify our users remotely before any damage or waste occurs. Print with peace of mind. Or even watch your prints live while auto-recording time lapses of your beautiful creations. Now, for maximum speed and user experience through complex algorithms, the K2s not only fully self-calibrate, but they build in efficient programs like selective bed leveling, where calibration will only focus on the print zones for each run, drastically minimizing pre-calibration, making prints faster, while ensuring flawless first layers and perfect bed adhesion. Just like the K2 Plus, the K2 variants include native compatibility with up to 4 separate CFS units. So we actually see the next generation of makers as artists. And supporting up to 16 colors of filaments will surely bring a lot of beautiful creations into our world. Now, let's meet the newest additions to the K2 lineup, starting with the K2 Pro. Powerful, precise, and production-ready batch build big with this ultimate helmet hero. Coming in at 60% of the original size of the K2 Plus, the K2 Pro boasts an impressive yet efficient 300 cube build volume, an actively heated chamber powered by our advanced step servo motion rig and high-temp carbon steel extrusion system. Controlled by a perfected UI on a 4-inch color touch screen, this modern marvel can fabricate helmets easily in 16-color multi-material glory at blazing fast 600 mils per second speeds and 20K accelerations. Don't worry, how do you like this? You're going to be putting a lot of helmets on this machine, eh? The K2 Pro is a prosumer option for makers still wanting all bells and whistles and with a serious build. Now, what about our users who want something more streamlined? A reliable, efficient entry to multicolor and close printing. This is where we introduce the base model of our next-gen fleet, the K2. Smart, streamlined, and speedy, the perfect multicolor paper at perfect price. All extrusion power of this bigger brothers. Let's not forget, also including CFS support, this machine balances form and function beautifully for the ultimate engine.
All right. That stuff. Right, guys? You know, it's 300 by 300 for the K2 Pro. It's 260 by 260 for the K2. K2 Pro has a heated chamber, and they're basically just down-spec'd and shrunken versions of the K2 Plus. So, yeah, that's about it. That's all we have for today. And let me know if you want to see more 3D printer. I'm just kidding. I'll go back. There we go. All right. We'll see what else he has to say. All right. Hold on. Let's get back in there. Let's get back. Oh yeah, we haven't heard the price. I should probably go back in and see the price. Let's do that.
Phone knows Okay. Can I summarize it for your audience, the presentation? So you guys know K2 Plus?
Oh, you're kind of loud.
It's that, but smaller. That's what the whole presentation.
Okay. It's Tariff sized.
A convenient print send dashboard finalizes machine selection. Damaged surface finishes. But not anymore. Artists can now flex their creative muscles to create organic shapes, adorable models, and complex geometry ready for perfect prints every time. Now, pushing the boundaries of consumer printing into industry applications, we needed to toughen up our infill parameters for much stronger materials for stronger parts. We tackled this by including an advanced infill pattern known as TPMSD. This produces a shifting diamond lattice pattern, which we've tested to be 15% stronger than all other infills. This diamond lattice not only provides strength, but optimizes print time and material use for faster, more efficient print times, all while providing the strongest parts for our engineering grade filaments. 3D artists are now pushing the boundaries of designs with complicated geometries that feature limited surface area, literally sometimes needing to be printed in almost mid-air. If there's no surface area for bed adhesion, it would then require a ton of support material. So we've programmed smart placement and orientation functionality with Creality 6.0. This option will precisely analyze and orient complex models for the best chances of printing success while minimizing support structures required, reducing print times and print waste. Now, when new unified Creality Maker account synchronizes user projects, models, slices, prints, and your devices all in one separate account, while giving access to AI features, this opens up our users to unreal possibilities like model image recognition and full remote printing. So if you see a model that you like, snap a pic of it. Our AI recognition software will find an appropriate match on Creality Cloud, which you can then remotely print and have waiting for you when you get home. We're pretty much living the future now. So let's not forget the mobile application of our software, Creality Cloud. The all-in-one 3D printing platform which features a full library of 3D files, built-in slicer, one-tap 3MF remote print and monitor functionality. All features are also upfront and centered in our app through keyword and image upload prompts. Categorization of uploads for our artists is also done through AI, providing an intuitive way for designers to share their creations to the world with just a simple few taps. Now, speaking of sharing creations, designers who upload are now rewarded for both uploading and receive point royalties each time their models are downloaded. Points of which can actually be redeemed for real products in Creality Cloud. Now that you've heard about our FDM advancements for 2025, let's give my voice a break and let's see what else Creality has lined up this year. Let's give laser focus to Kai as he shines some light on the Creality Laser Falcon series. Kai, come on up.
Thank you. Thank you, Duke. And hello, everyone. How's it going? Real good. Yes, doing good? Yeah, so also hello, people up here on the live stream. And my name is Kai, K-A-I, both my Chinese and English names, so it's a real name. No offense. So I'm part of the team of Creality ecosystem and leading the social media marketing and also the KOL partnership team for our laser brand, Creality Falcon. So firstly, let me introduce Jessica, one of our loyal customers, a farmer turned entrepreneur. So last year, Jessica picked up our Creality Falcon 40 watts blue dial laser machine and started laser engraving on customized woodcraft. And today, she runs her own gift shop, and her income has tripled. Why? Because she chose the tool that is not just smart, just powerful, but smart enough to help her grow the business. So that's our mission. We want to unleash your endless creativity. Whether you're a hobbyist or a startup like Jessica or industrial designer, we want to build the tools that bring your vision to life, safely, efficiently, and effortlessly. So that's why I'm very proud to be standing here to unveil 3 groundbreaking laser innovations that will redefine laser creation. Falcon A1 Pro laser machine, Falcon AP1 air purifier, and Falcon Design Space software. But before we dive in all the new products, let's talk about pain points. So myself, personally, I've been using laser machine about 3 years now, and trust me, I have a fair share of struggles. All the struggles there have been there. So from the very beginning, I found out many laser brands make the switching laser module very complicated, and it needs to be. And you're trying to figure out how to insert a thing, and the next thing you know, you break the cable. The cable connects your laser module, also your laser machine. And also there's a space issue, like Part of my previous job was shooting videos, like so many amazing here out here. Like we were shooting videos for TikTok and YouTube channel, so we have to move these machines around to different scenes. But it sounds easy until you run a giant highway laser beam. And as you can tell, I'm not exactly used like bodybuilder, right? So what if there was a laser machine can fix all of that? You know, we want to focus on 3D methods, which is creativity. So that's why we developed an A1 Pro laser machine. This is our most intelligent, efficient, precise powerhouse to date, packed with 6 game-changing innovations. Let's take a look at the video.
I think that's the Bamboo Lab H2D on the screen right now.
Wow, it's incredible, isn't it? So I'm going to go through every single of them. Firstly, let's talk about the power and materials. So A1 Pro laser machine are supported with more than 350 materials. So if you want to laser engrave, laser cut some blues or paint to create a 20 watts blue diamond laser that handles tough stuff. But what if you want to laser engrave some cosmetic jewelry, like laser engrave a jewelry with your wife's name on it or your husband? Or maybe you want to make like special earphone case, like plastic. The 2 watts infrared laser has a coverage. I like to emphasize 2 watts infrared laser because it's basically designed for the fine detail work on metal and plastic. It's insanely sharp with 0.03 millimeter precision. And we got so many jewelry maker customers and some small business owners. And before they kept asking us, when you guys going to have this infrared laser for our small business? And now we have it. It's super easy to switch different laser module. Like you basically grab it and you kind of like lift up the toggle tag and you pull out the old one and pop the new one in. And that's it. Just as it sounds, as I said. Okay? Very easy. And a smart camera. So innovation isn't just about the power, it's also about the smart simplicity. So we have this beauty HD camera on the lid. We also have this red printer bundle on the bottom. So it automatically locks the focus within 3 seconds. So this is auto-focus function. You can take a look up here. Let me just go back to the last page. It doesn't really work, but whatever. So we also have this live camera preview. That means you can see the entire working areas through the camera in real time. So you can position the materials where exactly you want them. That means you can get precise guidance and engravings. And the real-time monitoring. So if you want to sip bubble tea or coffee, run your project, go for it. Because you can get a real-time update just right from your phone. And there's one more thing really cool. We have this built-in time-lapse video sharing function. That means you can share your creations on TikTok and Instagram with this function. I have to say, this is the global first function in the laser motion app category. And let's talk about safety. So, like myself, before I went to the laser world, I didn't know anything about laser machine. Like, in my mind, I was like, lasers sounds really industrial, like not a world to me. So when I joined this world, I really care about the first things about safety. Especially many of us, like I'm single, but many of us, like, you have a family, you have children, you have pets around, right? So when you operate your laser machine, you don't want them to get hurt. So that's why we really care about the safety of the laser machine. And this is class 1 laser safety. We also have emergency stop button. And when you open the lid, you automatically shut off the machine. And we also have this dual dynamic flame detection. So they have like 120 degree right angle camera. Also there's Z-axis sensors to catch everything. So there's no blind spot. And the speed is up to 600 meters per second. for like blue dye laser, which is like two or three times faster than old laser machine. And the last, but definitely not the least one, is about this touch screen. I think this screen is being naughty, doesn't really work well. Oh yeah, there you go. So we have this 5-inch touchscreen on the side. It's super intuitive. Just like your phone, you can control everything through this touchscreen, and you can hold over 2,000 files, so you don't have to worry about the memories. We also have this cloud integration, so you can easily access the files, your safety files, to streamline your workflow. With all those transformative functions such as the camera position, autofocus, and the next level safety, the IoT wireless control, what's the price? Well, stay tuned. When it's going to be available in Coil 3? Okay, this is A1 Pro. So we all love using laser machines. Sometimes the laser smoke, the laser films, A1, right? So
A1
that's
everyone.
why we want to breathe new life to our workspace. Wow, this is going too fast. Let's just go back to the previous page. Yes. So anyway, I was doing live stream for about 2 years before. Every week I was doing live stream on YouTube channels. Every time we were not just promoting the laser machine, but we also operate a laser project. Each time maybe 3 projects. So sometimes we use leather, wood, acrylic, and it was really fun. But the not fun thing is about the fumes and the smoke. That's why we have this AP1 purifier to help you eliminate all the nasty odors. So we have so many amazing functions, but first important, I'd like to talk about this 360-degree full circle purification, because this is also global first. It's called 360-degree stereo filtration system. So when the air comes in, the closed-end design on the other side gonna force the air to diverge in all directions, achieving a true 360-degree purification, unlike the traditional way. Because the traditional way, the air flows through one end to the other side, like goes straight away, so there's no full circle. So that's why the filter is not fully used. So this new technology is gonna help you to improve the airflow, also to boost your efficiency. And up to 12 times larger purification area, that means every inch of your filter is fully used. And your filter, the most important we care about the air purification, gonna be like 3 times longer lifespan. Another global first, you can see the pollution level drops in real time through this little screen. So that means you are truly protected. So it's not just about clean air, it's about visible peace of mind. And the 5-stage defense filtration system is going to help you in the air, layer by layer, to target all the particles, especially acrylic. I don't know how many of you guys really use acrylic. I love using acrylic because you can use acrylic to make some cosmetic jewelry or light stand with a picture of you and your partner. But every single time, the unpleasant smell really like stopping me from using them. But don't worry now, because AP1 is going to help you eliminate all the smoke and fumes from acrylic or other materials. And based on our lab test, so the laser fumes are made up of over 80% particles. So that's why we've engineered this modified activated carbon layers that is beyond the basic filtration. So they are capable of degrading all the pollutants from materials like acrylic, as I mentioned, and wood, leather, even the metal. So there's no lingering smell, just purify, just like clean air and focus. Another word first, you can use Wi-Fi to control everything about your air purifier. So you have a larger common, like I mentioned. You put your air purifier in one side of the room, and you go to another side. It's different to control everything rather than Bluetooth or the cable. It's not just for the laser cutting and engraving. So this is like a universal device. It's also for soldering and normal home use. So it adapts to different environments. While you keep your home safe, clean, and most important, inspiring. Doesn't matter if you create or not, got your back. So I really like to emphasize about the 360 degree stereo air purification because it's the global first in the laser purification category. It really goes to all the directions. So other brands probably don't offer you this function. And it will be available in Quarter 3 as well, so please stay tuned. And Creativity doesn't stop at hardware, it also comes with this software. Because versatile machine requires a versatile software. That's why we are fully launching this software. It's called Falcon Design Space. It's available in mobile app and Windows, Mac. Also, we have a cross-sync community website. But firstly, let's talk about the current move of the software. Nowadays, we all talk about AI. We all use AI. But what is AI in this scenario? We have this AI 3D CAD model generator. That means we can convert the 3D models into laser-ready 2D files with smart splicing options like stack, cross, and tilt, just like this picture. And beyond 3D conversion, we also can help you smart fill your design on the different pieces of material to achieve a batch reducing function. And we also can convert your B-map to vectors, and auto layout and have to detect the material size to avoid waste. And about software, besides the software, we also have this communities of Prosthetics. We just had a conversation with a group
Super loud from like over there. Can you hear us?
I don't think so. No, you're good.
Good bad call.
I'm just. I need to find who gave this to me.